matter. But for those which is permissible, I would try to include 10 and above, double digits. Yeah.
So to other participants, do you guys have any questions or anything, any doubts? Okay, we have one.
Oh yeah. Hi, what would be your ultimate advice for first-year law students? Okay, for first-year law students, I would say that it's a pretty good year for you, and you should experiment, as much as you can, because this is when you still have the luxury to do so. This is when the subjects are still relatively easy, and so you could hone your dissertation skills. You're in a better position to hone your dissertation skills compared to second and third years, because the subject matter gets harder and you have less time to do so. So what I would say is, for year one students, for first year students, please make sure that you can write good essays, good problem questions, and also that you can thoroughly understand every single chapter in all four of your subjects. Basically do all that, because if you can't even handle this well in your first years, it's going to be tougher and tougher for you to understand the subject area for years 2 and 3, and sometimes it might not be apparent. I think this is especially true for public law if you're talking about first year, because some concepts like judicial review, like the unwritten constitution is really troublesome for me, because it's a mess. The unwritten constitution, and we have the UK has constitutional statutes and whatever. In Malaysia we have our federal constitution, and that's it, simple. But in the UK we have a lot, and then you have the Magna Carta. So what you should be able to do is you should be able to take off these complex points, convoluted points, and oftenly self-contradicting points. You should be able to summarize them in a neat and easy way for you to understand. And also, I just recalled that during my first year, right, the lowest marks that I got for all of my subjects was public law. It was 65 marks, and I remember that I did horribly for my fourth question, because due to my memory constraints, I think I memorized an awful lot of articles for my first year, and I didn't really have the capacity at that time. It was not as good as my second and third year. And I remember, I recall 9 essays. I prepared 10 actually, but they're all jam-packed with articles. So it took up a lot of space than expected. So one of the questions which I like to do, or which I aim for, was it's not the focus which I prepared for, So technically I only had 3 normal essays and 1 bad essay. And when I say bad, it's like 1.5 pages bad in an LLB exam. That is unacceptable to me. But in the end, I still got a 65. And I believe that it's because I attempted the Constitution question in my first essay. I wrote 6 pages on it. And I'm fairly confident that I wrote it well, because, to me, the most complex area in public law is actually Constitution, the very first chapters which you study, and not judicial review. I actually find judicial review easy to understand as compared to Constitution. That is really a pain because you could understand Constitution, you could understand the basic notions, but to write it well is another thing. It's another thing. So if you could do this, if you could just make complex things easy for you, especially during first year, and in the meantime also brush up on your essay skills, your problem question skills, then I believe that you would do really well for your second, third years, or at least you would have a good start. Everything would fall in place naturally for me, as it did. Everything would naturally fall in place for you as it did for me. Yeah, so that's my take on it.